When we look at fractions, it's important to know what the various parts are called. We have the whole number, and then here we have the fraction. In the parts of the fraction, the top number is called the numerator, and the bottom is called the denominator. Multiplying by a fraction means that we're taking the fraction of that number. So let's say that we want to take 2/3 of 9. What that means is we need to take these 9 dots and split them up into 3 equal parts. So I have 1, 2, 3. So if I take 2/3 of 9, I just need 2 of those thirds. So those 2, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those dots. So 2/3 of 9 is equal to 6. If I look at that in terms of how I do this, just doing the math without a picture, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 2 times 9. Here, let me erase this part. 2 times 9 is going to give me 18. Now, when I multiply the 3, I can just multiply that by 1 because 9 over 1 is the same thing as 9. So 18 over 3 equals 6 because fractions are division, so 18 divided by 3 equals 6. All right, so when we multiply fractions, we're still finding a fraction of another number. It's just fraction of a fraction can be a little harder to visualize. So I'm going to go ahead, if we take 1/2 of 2/3, 2/3 is what we want half of. So I'm going to cut this circle as close as I can into thirds, into 3 equal parts. So if I have, I'm going to use a highlighter here. If I want 2/3 of that, I'm going to just shade in those 2 out of those 3, 2/3 of this circle. So that represents my 2/3. I'm going to darken that just a little bit. There's my 2/3. Now I want to take half of that. So I am going to take that 2/3 and I'm going to cut it in half. So we can get a good idea. Well, it's not quite in half, sorry. Not very accurate. I'm going to show you what that looks like when we actually do the math, and then we'll come back to that circle there. When we multiply fractions, we multiply the top. So 2 times 1 is 2 by the bottom, just straight across the top, straight across the bottom. 2 times 3 is 6. We can also reduce that because what we notice is if I look at this pi in terms of 6, so I cut it into 6 theoretically equal parts. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I shade in 2 of those. Then I have my original part of the pie that I had here, that 2/6, which is also equal to 1/3 of the pie. So I have my 3 equal parts. I'm not doing a great job of explaining there. 1, 2, 3. So 2/6 is equal to 1/3. That's reducing the fraction, not multiplying it right at this moment. We'll get to reducing more specifically later.